Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are incredibly close here to ending this war. Let me just tick one day so that this updates correctly. There we go, that's much better. So we know that the commonality of Azan's Crucible has basically no remaining fleet, right? Now they could still pop back up at some of their locations, but we need to do a bunch of invasions here, is really what needs to happen. We need to wipe them off the map, and in the meantime, be working on getting our fleets rebuilt. So we're working on that, no doubt about it. We should go through our jobs here and work on our consumer goods. Our consumer goods are very rough right now, and that is definitely something that we will work on. So let's head on through here, see what we've got. We've got this factory station here. That isn't much of a factory station. Okay. We've got this urban world here. That isn't much of an urban world. Okay, what else do we have? We've got this factory world here. Sure, this is acceptable. A lot of these are workers that won't work in these sorts of jobs, which is unfortunate. But that'll do for now. And the real question now is, where are our armies? Okay, so we've got an army in Yon. Do we head on over to somewhere like here? No, that is that is a lot of fleet power there, or rather army power. 4890, sure, that requires additional work. So up in Beta Aquila, let's check over here. Croc is at 2362. What else do we have? Stars Dialogue is at 431. Is anyone currently heading here? I feel like we can come take over Stars Dialogue. 2905. Cool. What else do we have? So this up here is Kingdom of Yonderim territory, which is no longer hostile to us for reasons. So we can check up over here on Durbatur. 3011. Okay. And then out over here on Polaris, I believe we set this up to bombard, but not to actually invade. Correct. Okay, so overall, that means that what do we need? Time for bombardments is the answer. The 9th Fleet is going to need to be jump drived out, and we'll go ahead and do that, as well as the 64th Transport Fleet. So that'll be fine. And then both of these can come up to Polaris.
They are assaulting our spaceport.
Eventually. These guys did not receive that order, so we're going to tell them to come up to Polaris. Perfect. That'll be fine. Wait, who's assaulting our spaceport and with what? You talking about these armies? Those are irrelevant. I don't care about those. Completely and totally irrelevant. So that's not a problem. The 21st Fleet is currently missing. The 9th Fleet is just chilling in Beta Aquila and should probably be sent over to Croc at this point. That does require work in the bombardment department.
They are assaulting our spaceport.
I don't think they are. To be clear, I don't believe that that's happening. So we're going to colonize this world that just finished its terraformation. There we go, Bitrius Prime. Looks good. And as far as Polaris goes, this should be bombarded fairly soon. I think that we're going to move the 8th and the 3rd Fleet at this point back to Monakadir, and it can enter orbit, or actually it could go back to like Sol. Sol would be fine. Go ahead and enter enter orbit at the Earth space dock. Cool. So we have another 9,000 alloys that we can toss at our ship deficit. Looks good. Cool. We will be out of this war very soon. Marvelous. We got this terraforming finished up. We'll go ahead and colonize that, of course. We're lacking the alloys. We'll have to wait for the month tick. That will be momentarily. I say as this is the speed that the game is going at, at fastest. Oh, Stellaris, you need optimization. At least the game is no longer stopping responding on the month ticks. That's nice. A cloaked fleet has been discovered. A bunch of them are being discovered out over here. Fascinating. Okay. Not sure what's going on with that, but apparently the AI is cloaking. Do we have access to, like, technology for that?
Victorious.
We're working on dark matter detection right now. So yeah, these technologies do exist. We should probably work on advanced detection algorithms for the time being. In fact, I'm going to take these off of auto research for the time being. And the 7th Fleet is currently not bombarding. Let's send it over to here. Cool. And these guys are in Polaris. They can all be grouped together. And then we've got this fleet in Congram. So, Huluk, we're not ready to invade it yet, but we can at least enter orbit there. Looks good. So the bombardments are ongoing, and we will keep an eye on them. But it'll be a while, I think, before these are going to be ready to go. The 8th Fleet should probably be upgraded. We'll go ahead and tell it to do so. The 3rd Fleet could actually be upgraded as well. May as well. And we just ran out of consumer goods. We're going to buy in another 5,000. That'll keep us afloat for a little bit. But that is going to be a problem. Okay. So no major issues right now, but those cloaked fleets are probably going to be an issue eventually. An encryption key, huh? Fire the incompetent. Cool. So obviously we're going to need to work on our consumer goods, right? There's no doubt about that. Our consumer goods consumption is huge right now. And our production is
complete.
It's not huge. That's for sure. I wouldn't mind upgrading civilian replica complexes here. That would definitely be a useful thing.
Our spaceport.
I don't think they are assaulting our spaceport. I really, really don't. I think that the game is lying to us there. So let's check in on Polaris. How are things looking here? 1984. Okay. Our bombardments are reaching maximum devastation. So that will definitely be good. But it'll be a little bit yet before a lot of these are really ready to be invaded. Croc is getting there. Hulug is making progress as well. Coming down by reasonable amounts per day. Looks good.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Okay, so we just finished up assisting cloaking detection. Next, we're going to go for advanced cloaking field generators. There we go. Cool. What do we got up here? 2,200 still. That's a lot. No doubt about that. Up in Polaris, we are down to 1908. We could probably land on that if we really felt like we wanted to. But I don't think there's a point. I really don't think there's a point in doing that right now. We will continue to reinforce our fleets. We need another 900 ships.
Has begun.
So that's all good. Apparently we're back to having the freeze during the during the month tick. Exciting.
We have established a new planetary base.
Cool. So that's all good. Let's go through our jobs here, since there's actually not a lot of micro work to be done. This Forge world needs something. I'm going to move it from being a Forge world to being an industrial world, and we are going to give it an industrial district. We really do need to be working on our consumer goods. Very, very badly. So what else do we have? Working our way through here. Looks like a lot of nothing so far. What is this? Low stability. Okay. That'll be worked on eventually, I think. Interesting that that shows up in the outliner now. This factory station here, it's got these guys. They'll migrate eventually. This refinery world requires a demotion, and this foundry station requires housing, of all things. Okay. I guess we could put in luxury housing. Where is it in here? Can you not? Oh, wait, you can't do that in these anymore, can you? It seems like you can't.
They are assaulting our spaceport.
Which would mean that we would need to replace an industrial district with a habitation district. It's certainly non-great. But it is an option. Not a good option, but an option. This urban world requires a job, and I would absolutely love to replace this chemical plant with a civilian industry. That'll do the trick. What else do we have here? We could replace this exotic gas refinery with a civilian industry. That would help. in theory. Okay. For now, that seems okay. Let's check in on Polaris.
They are assaulting
Okay, that's
our
going quite well.
spaceport.
Polaris is bombarding very, very swiftly. I like it. This is going to need additional work. No surprises there. Still another 5,000 there almost. Yikes. Okay, Croc we could definitely land on. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to redirect this guy over to here. And then the 6th Fleet gets redirected over to here. Cool. So that'll do fine, and hopefully by the time that's done, we'll be ready to bombard here. That'd be great. So this will slowly recover, but we should arrive here quite quickly.
Complete.
Yeah, we're already coming in. It'll be fine. We're low on food as well. That's going to require additional work. We've got this refinery world here. We're kind of low on mineral gains as well.
Initiating ground assault.
Awkward.
Victory shall be ours.
Well, we'll have to do some work on our economy. No doubt about that. We're still running a consumer goods input goods shortage? Yikes. Okay. Well, we'll buy a few more. That'll go away eventually.
Our warriors are victorious.
Cool. So this
Scientific
Beta Aquilate will switch over to
breakthrough
us.
achieved.
Congram, at this point, we are going to enter orbit of Hulug. There's still about 2,000 there, so we're not going to land there just yet. Up in Polaris, we're down to 500. This is much more reasonable. So we'll go ahead and land here, and these guys can come out over to... honestly, over to here. Okay. Looks good. I still wonder why this system isn't flipping over to us. Care is controlling this. Who are these? I have no idea who this is, and we can't click on it. Okay, exciting. Well, I guess that explains why we couldn't claim
Initiating
that system.
ground assault. Victory shall be
Weird.
ours.
There's our advanced cloaking field generator done, and I think next we go for the elite cloaking field generator. That'll finish up pretty quickly. Where do those go in our ships? Do those go in here? No. Are they part of our science ships or our larger ships? Are they considered a weapon? No. Okay, that's interesting. Let's check out the tooltip here then. It's not actually a part, it looks like. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. We did just lose an admiral, and we detected more cloaked fleets. Hilarious. So for the moment, this is all looking good. We're going to land on Congram very, very soon. This is down to 2,000 at this point, and we're going to continue to reinforce our fleets. This number appears to be stabilized at this point, so that's great. Our consumer goods shortage will go away eventually, and our invasion up here will be done very shortly. Oh yeah, that's basically completed.
They are assaulting our spaceport.
Cool. So Perexium is under our control. The only locations now... There's still contingency up here. That's hilarious. They haven't fully dealt with the contingency. Well, that's fine. We're going to head down over towards Valis and enter orbit here. This requires a lot of bombardment. No doubt about that. We're working on it. As far as Algol goes, this bombardment is also needing quite a lot of work. So these fleets will get redirected there once they're done. How are things looking up over this way, Imperator? That's getting a lot closer. Actually, we can probably do that. So if we tell these guys to instead come up over here, which isn't actually very far away, we can go land on that right now and free up this fleet. That would be great. We can get them upgraded, and I'd be very, very happy about that. We need to deal with our food issue. We need to deal with our consumer goods issue. Both of those are of a reasonably high priority, but we're going to get our war done here first. That's the current top priority.
Initiating ground assault. Victory shall be ours.
Cool. And our cloaking tech is going to finish up soon enough as well. So that's all looking good. The consumer goods shortage will be done shortly, and we're still making a lot of clone armies on Earth. That's fine. So how are we looking on this bombardment? There's only a few locations left here, and yeah, that's definitely coming down at a reasonable rate of speed. Beautiful. This is down to 5,000. And 4,000 here. As I said, this fleet needs help. We will continue to reinforce our fleets. I don't necessarily know that these things are getting to that fleet, but we'll see. In the meantime, let's go ahead and go through our jobs here again. We really do need to be working on food and consumer goods. So, we've got this factory station here. Consumer goods are fine. Yeah, I know that worker wouldn't work in it. It's unfortunate. But it's fine. They'll migrate eventually, I'm sure.
Our warriors are victorious.
Okay, so we've got the trade station here.
They are
I'm going to
assaulting our
swap this
spaceport.
from being a trade station into being a factory station. I'm not going to upgrade this. We're going to replace that with a civilian industry. There we go. That'll do for now. This industrial world here is going to bump over to being a factory world. And we'll see what that does on this next month tick. This is otherwise full. We'll need to wait for them to migrate. So that's okay.
The enemy
We can
is
upgrade this, but that's
targeting one of our
probably...
stations.
Yeah, that's not going to actually do anything. For the moment, that's fine. Food is going to become a concern. Right? There's no doubt about that.
They are assaulting our spaceport.
So I do want to go into our edicts here. Are we running farming subsidies? We are not, and we could. So we're positive in our consumer goods at the cost of our alloys. But if we turn on our farming subsidies, that should do the trick there. That should balance our economy.
Construction complete.
We have one too many star bases, and we could certainly get rid of one. What would we want to get rid of? Just, like, something like this. There, problem solved. Cool. So let's see what happens with our food here. Only 549. Okay, so we still need to work on our food, and we're going to have to work on our unity. We can run a unity deficit for a good long time. I'm not too concerned about that, but we're going to need more food work. Noted. Is this colonizing? Actually, it's not. Let's go ahead and colonize that, and continue to reinforce our fleets. There we go. Excellent. Have we taken this over? Yes, we have. So this fleet is going to be migrated over to here. There we go. And we'll move our army out over this direction. We'll go ahead and enter orbit. I don't think we'll want to land on this quite yet. Yeah, this is still 4,300. We've still got some bombardment to do there. No doubt about that. Additional fleets coming over here and helping out would be useful. And how are things going on Hulug? We're really close here. Beautiful. More food would be nice. That's for sure. So at this point, we need to go through and start looking for food jobs. There's this industrial world here. Honestly, we can swap this over to being an agro world. We can put in a food processing facility and max this out with agri districts. There we go. That'll help. That'll require some time for pops to migrate into that. But for the time being, that will definitely offset some of that. Some of our issues that we're having. Okay, what else do we have
They
here?
are assaulting our spaceport.
We've got this factory world.
Scientific breakthrough
Nothing we can do about that. It is what it is. Those will migrate potentially onto that farming world. Cool. And these need housing. Honestly, these give housing. We'll max out our farming districts here.
Spaceport.
This forge world needs housing. We'll build farming districts here as well. and a food processing facility. This urban world, we can replace one of these. This is a lot of strongholds. Okay, we'll just build the agriculture districts for now. Cool. We are, of course, going to need to get additional tech going here. So the dark matter cloaking field generator is probably what we're going to go for here. Probably. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And I guess the faculty of archaeostudies, or the devolving beam, as a planet killer component. Interesting that we can do that considering we don't have colossi. We'll go for the faculty of archaeostudies. That'll be fine for now. Cool. And let's check in on these bombardments. 3657, getting more manageable. 2327, getting there. And 1156, much closer. I like it. We'll let it continue to drop for a little bit, but that should do for now. So food is our current major crisis. We've got a lot of food stockpiled, so we've got time. We're not too concerned about that. For the moment, it should be okay. Eventually, we would probably want to go through all of our star bases. For the time being, I don't think that's that big of a deal.
We have established a new planetary base.
Cool. And we just lost a scientist.
The conquest of a new world has begun.
I'm not sure why they were in Subterraneous. That would be a very strange place for a scientist to be, right? It would be. Interesting. Well, for the time being, this seems reasonably okay. We are finishing up grabbing all of this stuff. We should probably come over and grab this system. And then after that, go back to automatic construction. Did that actually take going back to automatic construction?
We have encountered some manner of space-borne beast.
So that'll be fine. We finish up our faculty of Archaea studies, and from here there's actually a fair amount of things that we can grab due to the new patch. So we could grab like ancient nano missile cloud launchers. These are actually potentially very interesting. This is shields and armor, slightly armor weighted. That's fascinating. Okay, let's go ahead and grab the ancient refinery. That is actually amazing. A production increase for refinery jobs? I love it. That's great. So good. So we're going to immediately hop into here and continue to reinforce our fleets. We're getting close to being under the 300,000 marker. That's great. Very happy to see that. We should be able to land here incredibly soon. 971, we could do it right now if we really felt like we wanted to. I think that waiting is still the smarter play here, but there's only these 3 locations remaining. 1545, 3448. So this definitely needs more bombardment. These two over here, they definitely need more. And that's okay. For the time being, you could make a good, solid argument about attacking this at this point. You could also make a good, solid argument for waiting. Both are valid.
They are assaulting our spaceport.
But I think we're going to go ahead and do it for right now. So let's go ahead and land this army. We should be fine here. We'll take losses, but that isn't that big of a deal.
Initiating ground assault.
Cool. So with that underway, we're going to want to grab these fleets and tell them, come on over to here. Beautiful. So we'll win this invasion. They are already losing tons and tons of morale. Yeah, we're losing units. That's to be expected. But there we go. They're already below their combat width. So that's looking good. We've got reserves. It should, in theory, be fine. They're focusing their fire pretty well, and we're spreading our fire out, which in the long run will be better for us. For right now, it's a little bit spooky, but it should be okay. We can see their morale is dropping on multiple units here. This unit is still doing a lot of damage to us, as is the gene-shaped here. No doubt about that. But they have very little left that they can do, so that's looking good. They're attacking from their back line,
targeting one of our stations.
but it's definitely going to be dealt with. Cool. No problem whatsoever there. 1127, huh? Okay. Let's do it. We're going to head in over here. Beautiful.
Our warriors are victorious.
And then
Enemy
these
foes
guys,
conquered.
now that they're done, if I can select them, apparently I can't. There we go. We're going to have them come over here and enter orbit. They are too weak to actually land on here, right? No doubt about that. We're going to come over here and land on Spem Crew. They've got about 1,000 left. We outnumber them 4-1, which the general rule of thumb is 3-1 for an attacking force. In the real world, I don't know about Stellaris. That's fine. We're going to have no problem winning this. I'm quite confident in that. So we will invade here. And all of these guys,
Initiating
they're going to
ground
come back
assault.
over to here
Victory shall be ours.
and begin working on that bombardment. Fantastic. So this invasion is underway. It's going to take a little bit of time. Combat width here is awkwardly only 6.
Construction complete.
That is actually quite awkward.
Scientific breakthrough achieved. They are assaulting our spaceport.
That's going to make things a little awkward for us. But it is about time to put a cut in here. I was really hoping to have this war done by the end of this episode. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But it will certainly happen next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Rogue Corvid, Anna the Elephant, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.